Good evening, everybody. We are live. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Power Couple live stream. My name is Joseph, one half of the Power Couple, and I am going to be your conductor for tonight's fun train as we finally, guys, Ishgard your loins. We are actually going to make it to Ishgard tonight. I am pumped. We have really been building up to this, unfortunately, way too long. I'm sure you guys are bored at this point, waiting for me to go through the main quest and run back and forth and speak to random NPCs that nobody cares about. We are finally going to make our way over to Ishgard. I am very excited about that. We're going to unlock 3 new classes by the end of the stream tonight. Again, super excited for you guys to be here to play with me. So, if you are new to the stream, first and foremost, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome. If you head over to our stream, if you follow us, it'd be greatly appreciated. After the stream is over, if you want to go and look at some previous streams that we have, maybe perhaps check out Stephanie's Sims 4 Black Widow Challenge that's up for you guys. We have our last 14 days up on our videos on demand section here on Twitch. Unfortunately, no more than 14 days. We're not yet affiliate. We're making our way there. Once we will, everything will be. But until then, we got our last 14 days. If you're looking for something older than that, perhaps maybe watching me fail at doing Super Mario Maker 2 for the first episode, which was funny, albeit sad to watch, make your way down under the chat, or right now under the stream. You'll see all of our social media buttons for you to check up on. Click our YouTube button. Head over to our channel, subscribe, ring the bell for updates for when Power Couple puts out some new content. And then also feel free to check out our Instagram, our Twitter, and our Facebook page. Any like that we can possibly get, always greatly appreciated. So thank you so much again, everybody, for tuning in. Captain Nugget, welcome. You are a soldier, man. We definitely appreciate you tuning in every time. Like I say, we are the on-screen entertainment, but you guys are the stars. We definitely like to make sure we go out of our way to incorporate you guys onto the stream. So with that out of the way, thank you so much again for tuning in. Let's get down to business.
Become the warrior.
All right, guys. You know, it's our favorite time. It's our favorite thing to do when we play Final Fantasy XIV. It's time to wait in the queue. Without fail, I guarantee you, we will connect to the data center, which will hopefully not exist in the future, as Square Enix is apparently looking at a way to get rid of data centers and essentially just have one gigantic server so we can all one way or another play with each other. Super looking forward to that. Please do so. It would certainly make the waits a lot more bearable. We're going to log in with Roger Moore. He's level 55. He's a paladin. He's a tank. Definitely my choice of job. And I'm correct, right? We got 10 people waiting in queue. That's probably the smallest we've had the entire time we have been playing this game together, so it should be relatively quick. But I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone had a great day today. I know for me it was a busy one, but I was able to get my you-know-what together so I could get in here to stream for you guys. Stephanie came up first. She was a champ about it. She usually takes the night shift. We're switching it up. I'm taking the night shift today. And she was able to go from 6 to 8 while I went and took care of our food situation, which, by the way, KFC, big box, 5 pieces of chicken tenders for like $8. That was right up my alley. Easy. Stephanie wanted mac and cheese, so when your fiance says she wants something, you don't ignore that. Take that from experience. Do not ignore it. All right. So we finished up the parting glass. And so basically, we had the scare regarding, I forget the darn dragon's name, but there was this really large dragon that actually, if I go into my minions, I can get the thing's name. And I can horribly mispronounce it. Midgardsdemir. That's exactly, it's Midgardsdemir. He is the dragon that we were worried about in Ishgard of returning back, and at this moment Hydaelyn is nowhere to be found. Midgardsdemir has removed our blessing from Hydaelyn, and he is now apparently a pet that we can attach to us and move around. Captain Nugget saying, "Give me your food. There is nothing good to eat at his house." Well, my apologies. Feel free to raid your kitchen and look for something good, you can just say that someone on the internet told you to do it. And I think that'll go over well with your parents. Alright, we are going to turn in this quest with Harshafa. Again, no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So the last time I was on with you guys, I had mentioned that Minecraft Minecraft Earth, I think it is starting to accept their beta application, so you can test out the product. I'm not really sure what cities ended up getting it, but I think there was a soft release in 5 cities. I'm going to make the assumption that it's larger cities, like probably LA, Boston, maybe Chi-Town, but I'm going to assume that those are the cities that have availability right now. I didn't get a call back yet from the App Store, so I'm hoping that I get something that kind of just says, hey, come and check this out. You've been approved to play.
There has been word from the capital. Ishgard has weathered another assault, and 'tis said several wyverns broke through into the city proper. The Temple Knights succeeded in slaying the beasts, but the intrusion prompted orders to further strengthen the guard and to place the city under a perpetual state of alert. How keenly we feel the loss of our wards at the gates of judgment. Yet we must not bemoan our misfortune. Sir Emmerich is safely returned from Ul'dah, and once more leads the defense of Ishgard. As for the matter of your asylum, I am afraid no progress will be made until the threat to our nation is diminished. But do not despair. You are not without allies. You are more than welcome to shelter here for as long as you wish. Pray, think of it as a new headquarters of sorts. The Falling Snows, or some such. All frivolity aside, any who come here in search of you will receive no aid from House Forton. For once, the Ishgardian reputation for inhospitality shall work in our favor. Agents of Ul'dah will find their every inquiry dismissed, and their every request for entry rebuffed, until such time as their masters have acknowledged your innocence. You once fought to preserve the honor of my dear friend. 'Tis a blessing that I may now repay that debt in kind. But let us dwell no more on this. Pray, join the rest of your companions. 'Tis bitterly cold this day. I suspect there are those who might welcome the warmth your presence brings.
So for those who haven't been able to tune in, spoiler alert, so if you are currently playing through the Umbral era storyline, making our way into the Heaven's Ward content, like I said, we're basically right there. Before the Dawn is the last quest leading your way into Ishgard, if I'm correct. Basically, you've got a situation where we're trying to now get Ishgard to come into the loop with Limsa Lominsa, with Gridania, with Ul'dah, and everyone's together, but Ishgard's just not on board. You find out that whoever the leader of their church is, which apparently is the head of Ishgard, is being controlled by the Ascians, who are, again, the kind of evil force within the game. And you find out that they're head of the church, so ultimately the head of Ishgard is being controlled by the bad guys. They're not allowing you to go into Ishgard. They haven't fully joined in. Everyone kind of comes together, and Nanamo, the princess, whatever, leader of Ul'dah, holds basically a little gathering to try and get everyone on the same page after you just got done quelling the Midgardstimmer little issue and helping with their dragon attack that they had on their cities. Basically, what ends up happening is that someone comes in, I believe it was the lady in waiting for Nanamo, poisons her wine or drink. She dies. She's no longer with us. R.I.P. Homie. See you later. She's no longer with us. And there was no one else in the room other than you. And then we've got, I forget the name. Everyone, there's so many names, so many things to remember, and I never remember it all. Anyway, there was another Lalafell that is kind of the enemy of this particular story and chapter in regards to a side story of someone trying to overtake Ul'dah through kind of doing like a a coup of sorts, through using their money. And it's a merchant, I forget, I'm sure we'll see him in a little bit, but he's the one that ultimately ordered the poisoning of the princess, and then he blames you. So now you've got the immortal flames and the brass blades essentially trying to find you. So we hightail it back over to House Forton in order to be able to find some kind of solace and hiding while we have our friends trying to prove our innocence. We got Captain Nugget saying, Velgluk, meine Brüder. Ich spreche Sie Deutsch nicht. Nicht. I do not speak German. I know very little. Upon proceeding into the intercessory, several cutscenes will play in sequence. I think this is a good opportunity for me to just very quickly remind everybody that when I do my pseudo Let's Play series, I like to make sure that I take the time to respect the game, to respect you guys. I try not to speed through cutscenes. I try not to talk over characters when they are speaking, purely because if you don't have the money to be able to buy the game, or you don't want to have a monthly subscription to pay to Square Enix in order to play, and this is kind of you getting to enjoy and play the game, watching me, I don't want to disturb that for you. I want you to be able to enjoy the story. So I try to be quiet. I also try to give you guys enough time to be able to read the text that's on the screen as well. So we've got a fair amount of cutscenes going forward, so I'm going to try my best to not talk over it, because we are now going to make our way to Ishgard. Oh, there's no voice over here, so I'll take that. That's good. That means I can still speak with you guys. So Tataru was worried about us being killed. Apparently no one from the Seven Scions of the Dawn is responding back to Tataru. And apparently the Crystal Braves, which is the own neutral army that we created to protect Eorzea, the world that we're in, has now turned on the very people that created it. So we have Yujiri. Yujiri is also part of some backstory that we've already well gone through. Long story short, basically samurai class, land that she's from. She's been wearing a mask the entire time. We didn't know that she was this like part dragon, part human kind of race. I forget the name what it is within this world, but she's now lost her mask, and now it is revealed that she is indeed this kind of like hybrid between dragon and human kind of race. So yes, the name of her land is Doma. I forgot that.
"'Tis all my doing. I believed myself the only one who truly understood Eorzea's woes, and look what that arrogance has wrought. I gave commands, influenced governments with my certainty. I treated the Crystal Braves and even the Scions themselves as pawns in my great scheme to save the realm. But in my headlong rush into imagined glory, I paid no heed to the ground upon which I trod. The salvation of Eorzea. What was it that I hoped to achieve? Did I believe that I could rid the realm of every danger and difficulty? That I could defeat the Empire and the Ascians, and find homes for every refugee? Oh, yes. I was so very clever. "Become a guardian of Eorzea," I implored, and sat back to watch my perfect army cleanse the land of chaos. 'Twas all but a means to feed my own vanity. Only when all is lost do I finally realize the truth.
Oh, Alphino.
So, Master Alphino, are you content to remain a broken blade? Is there no flame hot enough to reforge you? What of the fine companions who yet stand at your side? I dare say the fires of their determination will soon have you slicing the air again with your customary wit.
I hardly deserve such friendship. And besides, where are we to go?
Alphino, if I may? Should this place not serve our purpose, then we shall go to Ishgard.
We shall.
Minfilia told me many times, as long as we stand fast against despair, the beacon of hope will never be lost to sight. Be it in the snow or in the clouds, we few will see that the dawn's light shines again.
You are right, Tataru. Thank you. And thank you for your kind words, Lord Orchefon. 'Tis true that Eorzea yet has her guardians. The Scions have achieved much, and 'twould be remiss of me to discard it all in a fit of self-pity. Let us then resume our journey, together, one step at a time.
So I'm not going to make you guys sit through this. We're going to skip through this. So that was the end of the Umbral Era quest line. So it was the Astral Era, I believe, is the first one, and then it becomes the Umbral Era. And then now we start the Heaven's Ward content.
All has been arranged as you desired, my lord.
I talked about the Lady in Waiting who poisoned Nanamo. So we have Roban that is now sitting in prison. Poor Roban had, I believe, his left arm chopped off by Ilberd, who, lo and behold, he was a bad guy. So, La Habrea was the final boss for the first Astral Era questline, and Elidibus here is kind of supposed to be an emissary, so the black robed Asians are those that Urianger apparently is part of the Asians, and I was not actually expecting that. So that's kind of, it's taken me for a little bit of a ride. So the white-robed Asians are apparently emissaries who try not to actually fight. The ones that are garbed in black are those who are a little bit more on the violent side for achieving the things that they wish to achieve. And ultimately, they are eternal beings that even after you kill them, their ether just goes into the ether net? I don't know what they call it, but it goes back into the World Wide Web, and then they just reappear. However, our lovely scions of the Seventh Dawn have figured out a way to use white aura sight to be able to temporarily trap their souls after being defeated, and then using a large amount of ether to delete their search history on the internet. No, actually to get rid of and destroy their souls altogether so they can't reform by going back into the ether and then being reborn. And Urianger, who's supposed to be a ally of ours, is apparently a agent for them. So, poor form. We do know there was a history of the Asians taking over our friends' bodies and basically taking a host of them and using them against us. So that might be what's going on with Urianger, just because I do like him. And we do see him on the Shadowbringers intro, so...
Thou thinkest sanctuary lieth beyond. Delusion, despair, death. Thou shalt find naught else here.
To preserve the dawn's light, the heroes journeyed north. Their hearts filled with hope and eyes fixed heavensward. Which just so happens to be the name of the expansion pack we are now jumping on, and that's poor form. My left arm, that's what Roban lost. That's not very nice. Alright, coming to Ishgard. The time for action has come, and Alphanod knows what he must do. I know what we must do. Get our butts over to Ishgard finally.
The dawn's light will shine again. So long as we have these specious accusations hanging over us, we will struggle to achieve anything. You must go to Ishgard, as Tataru proposed. I will return to Uldar and set things right.
Pray, do not be so hasty, Master Alphino.
Also, is it just me, or did Alphanod's voice actor just change? Because it does not sound like the previous version of Alphanod.
Lord Orchefant.
Full well do I understand your desire to clear your names.
Sounds like he went through like that quick of a puberty, and now his voice is a little bit lower. Definitely sounds like a new voice actor.
But now is not the time for drastic action. You yet have allies upon whom you can rely. There is no need to act alone.
Yes. Yes, of course. Pray forgive my impatience.
I bring tidings. Count Edmont has decreed that the three of you be taken in as wards of House Forton. Under our patronage, you shall be granted access to the city proper. Pray, consider our manor your new headquarters, from which you may gather information and plan how best to proceed. Needless to say, should any of your missing allies be found, as I am certain they shall, they will of course be welcome to join you there.
You are more than generous, my friend. On behalf of my fellows, I humbly accept your offer of hospitality.
The Count is a good man, and just. He will treat you with the kindness and respect that a hero and dear friend deserves.
Captain Nugget is losing it with question marks all within that chat right now.
To Ishgard, then. Together.
Together.
There we shall carry on the Scion's legacy. There we shall begin anew.
Here, here!
Alright, we're gonna speak with Orchefant. We'll head over to the Gates of Judgment. They will allow us to be able to enter the city proper.
so they came, at a friend's behest. Heroes once celebrated as saviors of Eorzea, brought low through treachery, their names blackened with royal blood. With memories of the lost and dreams of redemption, with hope yet in their hearts, they came. To Ishgard, shining city on the mount, overlooking the dominion of Kurthus. A great and proud nation, devoted to Helone, the Fury, ruled by Thordan VII, Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. The last bastion of the faith, her walls ever bristling with the sworn swords and spears of her 4 high houses. A land that after 1,000 years of war had forgotten what it was to be at peace. Through gates long closed, the warrior of light and his companions passed, entering at last a city whose history was written in blood. In the midst of the Dragonsong War they came, 3 weary travelers whose arrival would set in motion great change. Though none knew then how great.
From the memoirs of Count Edmond de Fortance, Heavensward. I will admit, the writing for the DLCs are supposed to be, you know, pretty good. Shadowbringers is supposed to probably be the best writing that they've had in a long time. For probably any Final Fantasy series, so they really went out of their way. Obviously, we're a long way from reaching that content, but they've always done a very good job of continuing to just add on to the main story. Speaking of games that have reverted back to their original glory, is World of Warcraft, guys. Unbelievable. I can't imagine that this was ever going to happen. World of Warcraft decides and they say, you know what, we ruined our own game. It's done. It's over. We ruined it. We are going to release a vanilla version all the way back to the original release of World of Warcraft, because nostalgia is a hell of a drug and people are absolutely eating that hook, line, and sinker. They have super increased activity. People are going cray-cray, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, however you want to describe it. People are playing World of Warcraft Vanilla, and I noticed a lot of streamers on Twitch starting to actually pick up that mantle again. So really interesting to see, you know, a game go from, because I actually played World of Warcraft when it first came out, and to actually see it go from where it was to where it became, and it did kind of absolutely ruin the game. It was a different experience by the end of it. However, why not take all of your hard work and rip it down and just re-release the game all over again and watch as millions of dollars pour in? Well played, Blizzard. Well played. Also, I love how we've got Roger here, and he is like a champ in his armor, and you've got Tataru, and you've got Alphinaud, basically wearing like designer clothing, and you can tell who's prissy here and who's the actual Warrior of Light. Alright, so because I am weird, I am going to very quickly go through the city, attune to all of the Ethernet shards. Because you guys know, if there's a problem, I'm going to throw Gil at it. I really don't care how Gil feels about that. But point being is that I do not like to waste your time nor mine traveling from one side of Eorzea to the other, hell let alone traveling from one side of the city to another. I prefer to be able to fast travel, spend a little extra cash, and make it over quickly. Alright, so this is the last one for the Ishgard Aetheryte Plaza that we're making our way towards. We've got the Machinist or Machinist, however you guys want to pronounce that, right there for us. So I think we might even do that before we continue on with the main quest, because you guys know I'm just here for the cake, to take one of Stephanie's titles from one of her previous streams. I'm just here for the classes, guys. I'm here for the jobs. I'm here to be able to say that I can play every single, class and try and get it up to the max level. Are you interested in exploring the Machinist discipline? Oh, yeah. Alright. Would have been funny if you were like, no, I don't want to be. This is weird. Alright, Savior of Sky Steel. Stefanovin? I'm not calling for Stephanie, so, but Stefani Vin? I don't know. It's alright. That's the last time I try and butcher that one. Awaits your introduction with undisguised enthusiasm. And apparently we, at least get a steel-barreled carbine, so that's a good weapon to chuck on there. And the soul of the Machinist, Machinist, whatever. What I do love is the fact that they're able to so lovely, the writers and the game itself, to kind of bring everything full circle. So, when we are dealing with the Garlean threat in the Astral Era, the first storyline of that main quest, you see that you've got the baddies, the Garleans, the main generals there. They are gunblades. So even way back when, you've got them wielding gunblades, which was super cool. Now that that's actually been released through Shadowbringers, then you've got, Merylweb. I always affectionately call her Merylweb Street. She is a machinist, machinist, whatever, but she's your dual-wielding, gun-toting individual, and you don't actually get access to the class until you reach Heavensward. So again, they do a really good job of layering in little tidbits that you can see that you're eventually able to actually get to enjoy yourself. So I just think that that is so very cool. And now it's our time to start going with a little pew 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 pew. So this is something that is new from the last time that I played, is that you have the ability to be able to actually respond now to some questions, and it really doesn't change anything whatsoever. It doesn't really mean anything other than perhaps maybe their response is a little bit different. But is that not so? What do we got? We've got, "Aye, 'tis but a garden path," or, I wouldn't go that far. Alright, so we'll say, "Aye, 'tis but a garden path." I mean, let's just be honest. Ul'dah is my city, so hanging out in Limsa Lominsa is like going to a day spa, or going into like a... This is gonna sound horrible, but like going into like a, you know, a very pampered place in comparison to Ul'dah. So we're heading over to Camp Overlook so we can find whoever this great marksman is, so we can learn from them, so we too can be a gunslinger. As I'm going around in circles. That's okay. Alright, we're gonna head into the pillars. Over in the pillars, we'll hit the ether shards that are there. Alright. And then it appears on the east side of the city. A dark spectacle is there, and something tells me that that will be the Dark Knight class, which is another tank that's in the game. And then what's your sign is most likely the Astrologian. If I'm a betting man, which I'm not, but I feel like that's a pretty good solid bet to take. press this man for details because we want to know about this Dark Knight. Not Batman. And not whoever the person is that's always hanging around the... I don't know any of the names, guys. I'm dropping the ball on this one. But whoever the emissary is that we have been speaking with from Ishgard, Ermic, I think his name's Ermic, his companion is clearly a Dark Knight. The people of Ishgard are in high spirits, for another heretic has answered for his crimes. And we'll get the soul of the Dark Knight as well as a steel claymore, because why wield a regular sword when you can wield one that's as big as you? So, we are to search for the Temple Knights in the Broom. I believe I already attuned to that Ethernet shard, so I will not attune to that further. We'll make our way to the final one. I believe this will be the last Ethernet shard in Ishgard. Should get a notification that'll let me know if it is indeed. Okay, so apparently not. So I am missing one. We will make our way over to get the Astrologian quest line as well. That is not the way. It's on the second floor. Do you wish to know more of fate? I think the answer to that is yes, just because I want the class, but I really don't, but that's okay. We'll say what we need to. Give Jenaquinard your name and become his protege. Actually, Urianger is supposed to be a astrologian. Stairway to the Heavens. Jenaquinard of the Aethium Astralicum simply cannot take his eyes off of you, nor would he. I can't blame him. So I'm not sure if things have changed, but when the Astrologian was first released, when Heaven's Ward came out, I don't want to say that it was OP, but it was considered to be probably one of the more, or at least the better healing class that was available. will admit, this is a fair amount of text, guys. And a lot of it you really, I mean, you get to know as you continue through the class and you get to learn about it, but this whole deck of 60, which I'm assuming are the different cards that the Astrologian has. Alright, so we've got our 3 classes ready to go. We can now speak to the other Astrologians in the Athenaeum, or whatever we want to pronounce that. So I don't really feel so special now because it appears our friend just lets everybody in on his little quest to find a proper Astrologian, and everyone turns their eyes to the stars, but no one seems to be able to utilize astrology, or at least the Astrologian ways the way that he hopes to see it done. He's trying to change the world. He's looking for someone to be able to actually be a good healer, and that's where we come in. We know that astrologians from the Charlene School exist because of Urianger. Who now apparently is a bad guy. So I guess looking to the stars is not all that good. Alright, so Jenna Quinard wants to go to the observatorium. What do we got here? We can at least turn in the coming to Ishgard, which kind of feels like coming to America. Like that was like a little bit of a pop culture little hint there that they were trying to go for. No Eddie Murphy here. Am I even going in the right direction? Yes. No. Yes? No? Maybe? I think the answer was no. That's okay, though.
My lord, I have returned with the Scions.
I hope your journey was not too taxing.
And here is Count Edmond de Fortams, who is the individual where we had that writing at the beginning of the Heavens Ward content.
I, Count Edmond de Fortom, do bid you welcome. As wards of House Fortom, you shall be afforded every courtesy. My home is your home.
My companions and I are deeply honored, Count Forton.
The honor is mine, Master Alphino. Consider it an expression of our gratitude for your service to Ishgard.
Forgive me, my lord, but are you not concerned? To accept foreign guests at such a juncture, especially ones with our reputation.
Do not worry yourself on my account. 'Tis true that Ishgard's first thought has ever been the war effort, hence the closing of our borders. Yet it is in troubled times most of all that men should seek allies. Don't you think? Granted, my decision will have raised eyebrows in the vault and in the halls of the other high houses. But so long as you continue with your altruistic endeavors, I doubt my honored peers will feel moved to voice their concerns.
Then there is naught to fear. Though our numbers are much reduced, we are no less determined to carry on our work.
Full glad am I to hear it. But before you return to your labors, why not take a tour of the city? You would do well, I think, to acquaint yourselves with your new surroundings. After all, you may be here for some time.
Captain Nugget says, I know of a count, and no, not Count Dracula. And not, the Count, because then you could just go 1, 2, 3, ah. Alright, let's speak to Alphinaud, continue taking in the sights. The next quest that we've got, I'm assuming Heavensward is going to be a fair amount of content, so we're not going to get through it all that quickly. And because this is probably quest number 2 within the Heavensward continent, we are new to Ishgard, we, of course, need to take a tour of the city, because that's what you do. Try to avoid a situation where we don't have to drop their name. Do a name drop like you just got pulled over and you have a friend who's a cop and you're like, I know I shouldn't have been speeding, and I'm sorry, but I know Officer Smith, and you should probably know that I know that officer, so this way you can let me go. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And hopefully it never gets back to your friend. I don't know about you guys, but I am pumped for the long weekend. I am taking Monday kind of off. I wish I could say that I'm taking it fully off, but I actually am going to open up my office for a couple of clients, but it's going to be very quickly. But still, taking advantage of that Labor Day weekend. So we'll try and do this as quick as humanly possible. We've got the Hopalong kind of like the city center. He just pointed out the church, which is where the government slash church is located. So Master Alphanod here. Alphanod points out that you do have the 12 knights that represent the different houses, very influential Ishgardians over time. These knights are all listed along the streets of the pillars. We're going to the Jeweled Crozier. Elazi, our master of the markets. So that's who we're going to go meet next. So that's over next to the Materia Master that we saw beforehand. I didn't mention it, but when we attune to the Jeweled Crozier Aetheryte, that's where we ended up getting close to. Now we're off to Foundation, which is where we first went into the city. We'll head over to the plaza as a good central spot, which was a good guess because that's exactly where he wants us to be. I do love how he's like, if you have not attuned to the Aetheryte, now might be a good time, dude. We already attuned to all the Aetherites. Thank you very much. The better half. Your guide is eager to continue your tour of Ishgard. I know they call them rainbow caps, but they look like jester hats, and to be quite frank, it's not my style. I am neither a joker or a midnight toker, and I have no plans on wearing said cap. We already got to see the Sky Steel manufacturing. To the north, or where the knights seem to be. And he's giving us a warning to not head into the lower levels of Ishgard. So we're going to find out, or at least through the story, that Ishgard has a very big divide. There's a disparity between individuals of wealth, happen to reside in Foundation. They happen to reside in the upper parts of the city, but then on the lower parts of the city, you've got those who are living in poverty. And there's a very big class divide between the two, which you get to explore going through the Heavensward content and the quests that are present within Ishgard. Come on, I see you, Temple Knight. So this appears to be the Dark Knight that we were told about. Apparently Frey is not dead. Well, that's one way to get a new person to be your student, to say, well, I've now given you Dark Bees, which is a combination of darkness and, well, you can figure out the rest. And if you don't learn how to use it, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. I'll teach you. You just have to ask. So he is giving us his Steel Claymore and the Soul of the Dark Knight. Dark Knight is unlocked. We are good to go. So let's actually see. Let's attach the Steel Claymore. And apparently we just get naked by doing that. So what's the best armor that we've got? I could have swore that I had better. Oh, that's because I am at level 30. That makes sense. So I'm stuck with having to go back to my level 30 gear if I'm going to be a Dark Knight. That's fine. No big deal. I'm gonna jump back into my Paladin set. I'm just glad to have everything all lined up. So I will eventually focus on that. I'm just gonna unlock the classes and then we can keep moving from there. Alright, so I can either go to the Observatorium or Camp Overlook. Which one is going to be quicker for me? It looks like it's going to be Camp Overlook, so... we got Dark Knight. We've unlocked that class. Now we are going to work on the Machinist, Machinist, however you want to pronounce that. We're hoping to rendezvous with this individual who is the marksman. We're speaking to these different individuals to find out where or who we're attempting to find. Quick and easy enough. I think we're heading to the infirmary, if I read that correctly. I was kind of distracted for a second as I was moving the map around way too much. I did not. Joy was going. I have no words. Joy has like split personality. She just turned into an absolute mad person with the gun. I feel like this is a good spot for a... I'm very confused about what's going on right now. The gun-toting world is in our sausage finger hands. Apparently this is enough for us to be able to get the class, so that's great. No additional work needed. We now have the machinist, machinist, whatever class. She blows. Alright, great. So we got that. We are good there. We're naked again, apparently. Jump back into the paladin gear. 2 down, 1 to go. If we go to the classes and jobs, you guys can now see we've got the machinist, machinist there. We've got the Dark Knight over here. On the left-hand side, I just realized that I no longer have my cursor. I turned that off because it wasn't lining up properly. Made things a little awkward. So over on the left-hand side of the window that I just opened, over on Tank, which is the blue icons, we now have unlocked the Dark Knight class. You guys have been watching. On the right-hand side of the list is the red icons, which are DPS, and on the second list, which is the physical range DPS, number 2 is the machinist, machinist, our gunner class that we've got. And then finally, on the left-hand side for the healer and the green side, we've got Astrologian, which we are going to unlock next, which means that all we have left after that is Dancer and Gunbreaker. I believe we already have the quest for Blue Mage, which is a limited job, meaning that it's a one single player job. You cannot do that with groups. You cannot do that in dungeons. You can only do that on your own. We'll do that at another time. So let's unlock Astrologian while we have the time. We got about a half hour left until we end the stream. So now we'll go back to Korath's. We will get over to Camp Dragonhead and then head south to the observatorium. There we go, observatorium. I can say it, I promise. Not sure what happened, but it appears that I have lost my fiance and my dog. They were supposed to leave to go and eat food, and then never came back. So, I'm not sure what they're doing. There's a very real possibility that, because she has her own car, that she left forever with the dog. I'm not an easy person to live with. I want a shiny unicorn. I'll have to look to see how I can get that. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Even more stairs. When some stairs are not enough, there's even more stairs. And when that's not enough, there's Fred Astaire. we are to journey to the Black Shroud to assist Professor Mace. That will hopefully be the end of our short little quest here. Hopefully they don't make us do too much in order to get the astrology class. Off to Quarry Mill with us. So I can't help but just kind of laugh at this whole point because we show up on a hostage situation. It's like we are the freaking warrior of light. We have, you know, taken down summons, we've taken down primals, you know, Asians, you name it, but we can't seem to take a couple of bandits on, and we're just like, okay, bye-bye. You can go on your way now. Not in the mood to fight today. I've only defeated dragons that are 10 stories tall. They do go a little crazy with their rings, though. They got like 17 rings on, admittedly. Too much. So that is that. We have the 3 classes that come with the Heavensward content. Now that we got our way to Ishgard, those 3 are in our hands. Super pumped about that. I forget what the weapon is that you get for Astrologian. So we get a star globe. What does it look like? We get naked one more time. So it looks like a shield of sorts. And is that a Yu-Gi-Oh? That looks like a darn... You know, oh god, I can't believe that I'm saying that. That's gonna make me sound so weird. But it looks like the little arm thing that they had, like in Yu-Gi-Oh. Yes, okay, when I was a kid I watched it, maybe last week. But you break it out and you put your cards in. It's time to duel. All right, back to Paladin, just because I've made enough of a fool of myself. You activated my trap card. Alright, so now that we have all 3 of the classes, just to confirm, yep, over on the left-hand side of our class list in the green area, in Healer, we've got Astrologian level 30, Dark Knight level 30, and we've also got the Machinist and Machinist on the right-hand side on the physical range DPS level 30 as well. That leaves us with Gunbreaker and Dancer being our next ones that we're going to try and go for. I think we need to be level 60 before we can unlock those, so we still have a little bit of work in order to do that. Actually, believe it or not, guys, I am going to be ending this right about here. I think that is just about everything that I was hoping to accomplish today. It has been a little bit of a longer day, so I think we will end up traveling back to Coerthas so we can be ready for the next quest that we need to take on, which is where we're going to pick up next time. So let's teleport, get our faculties about us, and then we can say our goodbyes. And then I can go and check to see whether or not if my fiance and dog are still around, or if they didn't indeed leave me forever. I can't help but feel like the whole Frey and the Dark Knight thing is going to be like a Sixth Sense, where he was dead all along, and we were just seeing his ghost or spirit. Damned if I know where I'm going. Plus, it is super dark. Actually, we'll have to use... Can I get down there? No, I cannot get down there. How in the world do I get down there? I don't think you do get down there. I think you need to go around. Because I'm a dum-dum and I don't know where I'm going. You guys get like 5 extra minutes because I don't know what I'm doing. So, there you go. Bonus time. Nope. Not here either? Oh, come on now, Joseph. See, the TV screen that I'm utilizing for my screen to play the game is very seriously dark. I need to do something about the darkness. So there are moments where the game is so dark I cannot actually see what's going on the screen I'm playing with, and it leads me to unfortunately actually have to turn and look at the stream to see what's going on. So here's where we need to be with Gilberlant, or whatever his name is, and this is where we are going to pick up the next time I'm with you guys. So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. It was an absolute pleasure. For those who are new followers or new viewers, please consider following us. It would be greatly appreciated. If you're looking for any of our previous videos, like I said at the beginning of the stream, head over to our videos on demand. We got our last 14 days available for you guys to view. If you head below the stream, you'll find all of our buttons to our social medias. Head over to our YouTube channel. If you're there, subscribe, ring the bell for updates for and from Power Couple. Also, head over to our Insta, our Twitter and our Facebook page. All the love that we can get from you guys, we greatly appreciate. It is a pleasure to be with you. So thank you very much again, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Again, I think Sunday, I want to say Sunday is going to be the next day that we are going to be on. That should be a Sims 4 day with Stephanie, so that will be a lot of fun. Until then, everybody, I think the next time I'm on is Monday for some Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Unless things change, I will keep you in the know. Until then, guys, have a good night.